Hello, everyone, and today we're going to go for another part of this series that is supposed to be exposing a couple of years of, pimping, dual commander, pimping things that you wanted to play. And this is my Tales from the Vault. Today, the beautiful playmat of Balance Art by Randy Gallegos. This is actually an original playmat signed by Mr. Gallegos. Thank you for sending that to me and putting those mats online. So, look at this art. Jeez, should I just slightly move you out so you just admire this art? This is so gorgeous, really. It's amazing. Like, I absolutely love this. This is by far the best art of balance. And so today we're going to speak about our lovely companion, which is actually his name, and what he does, in the name of Lurrus of the Dream Den. Um, I've played this deck for ages. This was supposed to be um, an everlasting Ores of deck or something like whatever you want to call it, white black. I've been playing Magic for something like 20 years now, exactly. And the thing is, when I started playing, I started opening Ravnica boosters, our city of guilds. So I mostly open blue red stuff and white black stuff. These were my first decks when I played standard, whatever you want it to be at this era. It was still the era of the good old extended 1.x game format and stuff. So um, I've built something easy-ish because I think Nifmizet the Firemine plus Curiosity is the first combination of cards I ever understood in Magic the Gathering. So I built these two, and this deck has been a Ghost Console of Urzova deck for years, and slowly it became something else as the game resolution went on. Things were mandatorily cheaper when you needed to play them, so it became an highly Eternal Pilgrim deck, and was a pretty good thing. And then Wizards of the Coast printed this slightly aberration card, so this was banned in Vintage really fast and stuff. So I wanted to test this, and I realized one of the weak parts of playing Reanimator decks was to be able to bring the enchantments back to the battlefield, and this is exactly what Lurrus does. So moreover, this dies to everything because of the 2 toughness, but also it blocks most of things and has lifelink. So you've got lots of shenanigans to do with this Lurrus here, and yeah. So good question is, which bird version is that? A Russian foil like this, extended Japanese foil, or serialized in English? To this day, I don't know. I think I'm gonna get a serialized version just because I like it too. I've got all versions but the serialized one so far, so this is probably what I'm gonna do. So this is a Reanimator deck that uses also a lock combination with contamination and a couple more other interactions, which means if you let this deck live for too long, it's going to use the graveyard too. So it's kind of sensitive to the graveyard use, but you can still get out of it. So without further ado, let's go. All right. Oh, wait. What is the first card we should be playing? Does this remind you of anything? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's whatever you want it to be, right? That's the thing you wanted. That's this balance. Balance is actually amazing in this deck because you get to discard whatever you want to reanimate early game, and that can be a win pretty easily if you go fast. All right, so I'm gonna put the rest on the side. For all dual color decks that don't need snow things, I always use this Magic Premier Series first generation lands that come from Japan. Those were sold in Japanese stores, and they were a pack of small packs when you get for them. You could only get, from what I remember, basic lens in those small packs, and that was really hard to find, but not that hard. You still find those, and of course, as you can guess if you don't know about them, they had the guild sign printed. That's the first track of the guild sign printed ever on a card, from what I remember. And you've got the name of the guild. Here is the Orders of Syndicate, and of course you got this name and filigree here of this watermark on both basic land types of the guild. So here we got plains, as you're going to see, and swamps. And the thing is, there's only one art per guild. So all these are part of 4 different guilds, you know. So for here, for example, like swamp with blue black, blue black red, black green, black white, and that's only one association of colors, and they only have one illustration. There's only one art available for every guild. Okay, so all the swamps that you're gonna see not only are the same because you should always play exactly the same basic lands in a deck like that, but also because you have no choice. So let's go. This is something that really echoes to me. I was given this Russian foil 9th edition Wrath of God, believe it or not. I used to have among my best friends the 2 owners of the local game store here in my city in Limoges in France. And someday one of them just bought a huge pile of cards, like a huge pile of cards, for a pretty decent price. And I went to say, did you recently buy cards, like whatever I could scan, you know, and to find some stuff? And say, oh yeah, we got someone who's got some interesting things, and I believe you are going to be interested in things. So I bought so many products, so many cards from this shop. Like one of the owners just say, you know what, nobody but you is going to be interested in that, so just take it. With anyone, the whole rest you're buying, just take this one. So this is something that will never leave me, and also, you know, the only Russian foil Wrath of God, I think. There's maybe there's one more set that has this in foil. So Shieldrat's Edict, you can see her in the back with the Japanese version and the Planeswalker sign for some reason, as this is a promotional card. Hard to choose which demonic tutor version you would prefer. I never know which one I prefer. It's hard to say. I tend to, you know, use this one most of the time, and I like it. The Judge version fits me. You cannot be darker than this card, so it's so dark you don't even see them. So we've got this Buried Alive from Odyssey, of course, and original version of the card with some foiling. Of course, one of the things you want to reanimate is this. This is not the Judge version. I could get the Judge version, but it's literally close to the same, except it's less shiny than this one. So I actually prefer this one, and this is way less expensive, but I can get the Judge if I want to. Of course, as usual, when something exists in extended version and Asian foil, that's going to be a hit to me. So it's the best pimpable version for this to me, for a Red Mesa and all this thing. Chain of Smoke are both for like 0 cents, literally. It was more of anything, but because of the Strix haven't blocked, this suddenly gained a lot of popularity because it gets copied for 0, and you can copy it on yourself infinitely, so you can just instantly win the game if you use the Strixhaven Quill Mage, whatever name it is. And this is not what I'm playing in this deck, even though I could, but there's no way you can tutor this one besides Demonic Tutor, so it's not really of any use. Of course, you've got the Cabal, and this is a land that was less and less played over the years, but more and more interesting. So the Cabal Pit is, to my opinion, something that is going to be still played a lot. Um, Original idea from Moondust on this deck. Um, Play land tax because it fills your hand and you'll never be able to play all your lands on a turn if you play only black and white. So the thing is, at the end of your turn, you're gonna have to discard one of your fatties and you're gonna reanimate them, which is just exactly what we want. So there we go. So as I said, look, there's two next to each other. So we got a plains and a swamp. So you got, let me just put them in front of the camera for you. Don't fall. So you've got the Halls of Syndicate, as you can see on the watermarks, on swamps and plains, and I think it's pretty neat. And this art is not the best one, but I really actually like this art. Like this one is really beautiful. The Ravnica arts are just amazing. Double Masters, Thoughtseize, because you know. Good thing on this deck is you can Thoughtseize yourself. This is important. I selected the discard spells. Most of them can target yourself. So what I did in tournament was Dark Ritual, Thoughtseize myself on Griselbrand, discard, play animated on Griselbrand, draw 7. Even though I lost a lot of life, that was game. So that was beautiful. You're going to see a lot of basic lands because this deck plays a very large number of basic lands. So I got the mandatory command tower. I mean, not that it's mandatory everywhere, but it's just one of the things. Fixing white-black mana is actually not that easy in Magic the Gathering. So yeah, it's quite kind of hard. So one of the recent prints we had Bitter Triumph. Bitter Triumph here is just amazing because you have an additional cost. This destroys any creature, any planeswalker. This is a perfect Doom Blade, but either you pay 3 life, either you discard a card. And if you the problem with reanimator decks is that you need to balance your discard to reanimate spells. And discarding yourself too much is exactly not what you want. So if you put too many like Poetry Imp and stuff like that, you're gonna end up losing very fast because it's not what you want to do. We've got the mandatory console judgment, still good, a little more expensive than one it used to be, but I still like the console judgment. And just look at the foiling on this one. Look at the foiling; it's just so beautiful. This one is a real success for me. When I was printed in Duel Masters, I was really fond of that. Here we go, Concealed Courtyard. I've got a bugged version in French of this, which is foil, with a huge black mark here. It's gone, it's sold for ages, but I still kept the Korean one because, you know, and it also wears the Oars of Guild symbol here, which is fine, so... yeah, this is just I just try to find Korean when I can find Korean, and yeah, this is a challenge because it doesn't work all the time, and when I can find it, I'm happy that I can find it. So yeah, this is actually is it the only printing? I don't know. I mean, I need to check. I think that this is probably the only printing of the dual and cycles in Korean, I think. So yeah, this Golden Shrine is wait, did I just say Console Question? No, this is Golden Shrine. I was thinking about another land, but yeah, this is Golden Shrine. This is Duel from Ravnica. So I think I said the wrong card name when I was thinking about that. This is Golden Shrine, and you can see this is a swamp in the plains, and this is so beautiful. The original art is crazy good. The original art was one of the first really good rares I opened ever in my life. I opened a Godless Shrine French foil, or non-foil rather, of Ravnica, and I mean it was Ravnica Cycle. It was Guild Pact, yeah. So that was just such good memories to me. This is one of the decks where I play Arcane Signet because you need to have something to survive if you want to play white spells when you successfully got a contamination lock. So you're gonna need to go through the contamination stuff, and Arcane Signet is just a perfect mana rock. So it works all the time, and I still believe this is the best art. Uh, oh gosh, Sun Titan, so much memories. One of the cards I played the most with through my entire Magic life. I've spent a whole standard season with custom deck that nobody other than me on the planet played, and I still got pretty good results. Won a lot of tournaments locally, and I was happy with that. And Sun Titan never goes away, never disappears, never disappoints. So it's just so beautiful. This is just Lurrus on steroids. It just reanimates everything. It's just amazing. If you get this card, just when it lands, when it enters, you know you're probably good. I cannot tell you how gorgeous this is. Like Elspeth Knight Errant, I mean, she looks like she's got wet hair or something, like coming from a cave with this artifact and glowing things. Like she looks like she found some weird artifact from the future. This is the masterpiece version from Ravnica Special Boosters, and you cannot find a better version than this one. It's just, this one beats everything. It's only in English, but yeah. And this is one of the rare decks I can still play that. So now you know about the basic lands, not going to go through. The bounce lands, namely Orsov Basilica. I have this in Russian foil, but like I said, extended art just beats everything. And the new art, wow, mate, this is amazing. Look at this art. Great, because you can bounce a land to your hand, and works well with balance and works with self-discard. So it's perfect. This was a great finding. I got that straight out when Strixhaven Mystical Archives were out. So I'm lucky to be one of the rare possessors in the world of the Russian foil Dark Ritual, and this one is just amazing. Look at this weird art. It's just I don't like the Mystical Archives that much because the foiling on the sides here, you can see, as the first attempt on foil etched whatever, and I really don't like it. But this one, for some reason, I like it. I think I'm gonna change this Russian foil Urborg into extended art from Lord of the Rings. So I'm currently on my way to buying one, but this is still, still got lots of memories. Remember, you can play this in any deck of Duel Commander. Alright, so this deck has the most oldies that are never reprinted that I own in any Duel Commander deck. There are so many old cards in this deck that don't exist in foil. It's crazy. Contamination, as borderline as this card can be, is just simply great. It's so crazy good. It hasn't changed, still delivers, and of course, when you don't know what to take, just go for Korean. One of the best things to reanimate, because you need to have non-legendary creatures to put in your graveyards with unmarked grave, and you need to reanimate them too. This works extremely well with any reanimating spell. If you got a loop where you can play Lurrus and this plus like Animate Dead, you're just gonna win, because you're gonna exile 2 permanents per turn. This is exactly what a Lemog does. So it's just a win. If you play Ashen Rider, I have a Japanese version, regular war, signed by the artist, and I actually think the etched versions of white cards are just so good. Look at the reflections on the left, on the white part. It's just, yeah, it's great. All right, Duress, not intended to discard yourself, but still works on your opponent, and you mostly fear whatever is non-creator here. So yeah. Oh, so this Dance of the Dead, I just got it back after 1 year. This is a card that was altered by Marissa Capitao. I can pronounce her name correctly in English, French, and Portuguese at the same time. Marisa. And I don't even know if there's a tilde on the O. It would be capital in Portuguese. I don't even know. Sorry, Marisa, I don't pronounce your name correctly when I'm speaking English too. So she's one of the coolest alterators in the place in France right now. And just look at what she did with just simple, basic art. I just told her, you know what, you gotta take the card, you do whatever with it. Reanimating spells in here. All right. Yes, I played Chains of Mephistopheles. 1, because I got one, and 2, because I like the card. It's not really useful in the deck, but actually, you can do some pretty nasty things with it, and this is really cool when you got Skull Clamp, because you can discard your hand instead of drawing it. And if your opponent wants to refill their hands, not gonna work at all. So Chains of Mephistopheles it is. And also this comes back on Lurrus, so I'm pretty happy with that, thanks to Mars, as usual, not the planet. Martial, one of my besties, who found that for me. And like I said, this deck is full of old cards that you cannot overpimp because they are maxed out. Chains is maxed, Dance of the Dead is so far dead because Dance of the Dead is not resolved list, but this is Recurring Nightmare. I mean, why wouldn't you play Recurring Nightmare in any reanimating deck? This card just does everything. It's just, it's amazing. It re-triggers your creatures. Just the upkeep cost is just actually the upside. This downside is actually an upside. Lake of the Dead will never be reprinted ever again. This is just this is exactly where you want it to be. You can have a tapped swamp, so it's pretty nice. And the art is from another era too. Is just amazing. Of course, lands basics. Troll, the Troll of Khazad-dûm. I don't play the white stuff to reanimate because it's not really good. This is just destructive. This turn 1 or 2 is just crazy. If you got Dark Ritual and any reanimate spells, you go. And you can do that easily in 2 turns if you just got this to discard for cycling your second land into whatever reanimate spell that costs you. It's great. And this looks like a simple common because the price is stupid, but yeah, turn 2, this cannot be blocked, I said, by 3 creatures. It's just amazing. All right, one of the amazing things from Lord of the Rings. Mind Twist could be very old version-ish, but you know, that version is just actually, it's giving it a lot. I really, really enjoy this art so much. This art is so cool. Yeah. I don't know if I should keep the lights that hard because I think I got a reflection behind me. Where is the reflection coming from? I could be, let me see. What if I just shut down the light? And then, no. There's not much I can do. Going blue, red. Now, we'll still have this reflection, unfortunately. Or I need to move the camera around. So anyway, let's keep going. We've got Liliana of the Veil as usual. Same thing here, I got this in Japanese foil. But, you know, the extended version has to be here as this is my favorite art ever. I've got the playmat, the official one. I've got the store banner from Innistrad. It's really hard to find, but I got it. And, you know, there is no way I can get rid of this art. This is by far the most amazing art of Magic the Gathering I've ever seen, made by Steve Argyle, and I mean, just... Fun fact, if you go to Steve's website, you will see there are 2 versions of this. The other version, she's slightly more naked on the bottom and she's wearing much more jewels. So Wizards chose this art because it was, I don't know, safer for kids or whatever. Both art are just amazing to me. And yeah, this is the best version of Liliana anyway. She's just amazing on this one. By far, not my favorite card, but my favorite art by a lot. So this is a try. This is a trial. I'm not really convinced about this Spy Master's Vault from Modern Horizon 3, but it's very unlikely that you're going to activate it. So maybe against the Blood Moons and stuff, it should just be a swamp. I don't know. In the meantime, the foiling on this is just amazing. If you can see this on the reflections, it's just amazing too. But Jukaborg, I've given up hope on finding a serialized version of this one, so I just got the search foil. What is this? Lord of the Rings Commander, I think. I don't even remember what it was from, but yeah, this is Lord of the Rings Commander, I think, and this is so gorgeous. I just love this art. I was waiting. Everyone on the planet was been waiting so long for the Bojuka Bog to be reprinted. That was crazy. I've got this in Japanese for the original one, but it was such a pain to get this. I was trying to get a Russian one, but didn't find it. So, like I said, a lot of oldies. Necromancy is not an exception to that. Here in Korean as well. Same thing. This comes from a very dark era, very back era of visions, and it's great. It's great. The fact that it can be played as Flash is great. So, Buried Alive, Last Rites and Buried Alive share the same thing to Odyssey, foil, black to generic, and Last Rites is actually good because Last Rite, this deck is by far the one I play with the most sorceries. I think this deck is just 1/5 sorceries, something like that. And Last Rite is great because you only get to discard the cards when it resolves, so you can choose exactly what you want to be. Alright, I absolutely love the fact that this worm is looking at you with such a goofy smile, like I mean, I've been finding this in Japanese, then Russian, and finally got it in Korean too, so Massacre Worm holds a special place in my heart. This is I mean, you cannot get rid of this smile, like, yeah, hello. This extended version is amazing. I wasn't ready to find such a good card in a core set version. That was a really good addition for me. All right, Blackmail. Blackmail has a very nice way of going exactly the way you want it to be. You can target yourself. You only get to reveal 3 cards, one of which you're going to discard anyway. So this is pretty good. And if your opponent is in a position of, trying to hold you with 3 cards in hand or less, you can just go like, I'm going to see your hand and see what I can do. And by the way, this is one of the very, very, very rare cards that can make the opponent discard a land. You can choose a land. You having to be able to target an opponent, choose a land for 1 is just I didn't even know if it's only I don't know, because you get, I think it's the only card that does everything. Raven's Crime, you don't get to look at the hand. Thoughtseize, you look at the hand but cannot be a land. I think that's the only card that can do that in the whole Magic history, and the art is just it's just amazing. You've got braids, I think it's braids on the left, and it's just amazing. The art is the same over all sets. This amazing art from, I believe, the guy who made oh gosh, this video game I forgot about. It's not Splinter Cell, it's Oh, how could I forget that? I got the guy in front of me. I remember the scenes, the game, and everything. Metal Gear Solid. Oh, jeez, I'm tired. So this is exactly what Skull Clamp needed. One reprint, one language. It's Japanese. The art is amazing. The card is amazing. It's full art. Bing! I've got already 5 versions of this card, 5 copies on this card, plus the original one. So, for the people who would not know, if you got this price here, you can pay the kick, and the kick is an additional cost. So, this works with Lurrus. You can play this with Lurrus and choose to also play the kick when you play it. Lurrus only cares about the mana value, not the extra costs. Also, this reanimates stuff. So this was completely, like, chemically perfectly fitting with Lurrus. This card has 0 default with Lurrus. It's just amazing. Isolated Citadels Chapel, sorry, from the original print. I still love it. I still love the gloomy light. You got the lights reflections, and this, the swamp reminds me of Diablo for some reason, for Act 3 of Diablo. I've got this in Korean and Japanese fall. Guess which one won the fight? I think you got it now. Phyrexian Tower still does a lot of things. Amazing with anything that needs, like, Ashen Rider really enjoys being sacrificed to this, for example. Iona. I need to find it in Russian foil, and it's really expensive, and above everything, it's really rare. I've found one person who has one for sale. I might be under discussion for that. I also might just want Iona to be reprinted with an extended art in whatever Double Masters 2026, I don't know. This will be reprinted at some point. So I don't know how and why, but I will take it any day. In the meantime, I just got this version because, yeah, Iona just does everything. Fun fact, in tournament, I play turn 1, Dark Ritual, forces me, discard Iona, play Reanimate, lose 9, and my opponent was playing Mono Blue. Do you have a Force of Will or Force of Negation? Force of Negation doesn't even exist at this time. Opponent said no, and we skipped to the second game. Solitude, one of the weird things printed in Modern Horizons set, because this set is just so powerful, everything's just ball racking into Modern Horizons. I'm not playing Grief in this deck, I'm thinking about it, but Solitude just does everything. It can get reanimated, it just exiles the things. And yeah, this is a Russian fall version. Fun fact, these borderless things have been printed in Russian in Modern Horizons, so in Korean too, so you can get them. Grizzle brand. So far, I'm kind of disappointed with the reprints that are either the same, amazing art by the way, or a very weird art that I really don't like. So I don't know what to do. I'm trying to find this in Russian foil, not the set, the original one, of course. Same thing, I found 2 people with one. I'm trying to discuss with them about finding a decent price, knowing there will be no decent price. So, swamps, Caves of Koilos. Rings a bell. For the first time, I played the regional championship, the original one from Wizards of the Coast. I just completed my Caves of Koilos playsets just before starting the tournament. That was fun. So I did that, and I remember winning because my opponent was playing Dragonstorm, and I was playing, for some reason, the old card, I don't remember the name, white-black. You search your opponent for a card and you exile it. You get some life, and I did that, and my opponent wanted to play Dragonstorm, so I removed the Bogarden Hellkite, and they played 3 Bogardens and stuff, so I went to like 4 HP or something. I played the Wrath of God, and they say there's nothing in the deck that works anymore, you won, congratulations. That was a good memory to me. So, yeah, the infamous Survey Lands. I believe to this day these lands are extremely overhyped because you don't need them on the late turns. And if you are willing to do that on the first turn, it means you have no first turn, which is bad. Except when putting things to the graveyard is part of your deck. And this allows, even simply, anything you do to be like a huge beast on the top deck, going to the graveyard on top on turn 1 or 2. This works in Reanimator decks. So, Shadowy Backstreet, here we go. This so far is the only good use I have for that. Of course, the Black Border Duel land in French, because I'm French and I don't want to see this in Italian, German, or whatever. So, yeah, French. This is what I wanted. Planes again. I do not play all the French lands because it's just stupid. You don't need them. You don't need to fill your graveyard with French lands in this deck. All you need to be certain of is that you got at least 3 or 4 of them, and that's way more than enough. So the one, of course, you should be playing all the time is the one that can get everything. This is useful if you play the angel named Maria Shepherd that you haven't seen. It's coming soon, but yeah, this is great. It works with Titan and stuff. It's amazing at purifying your deck. So yeah, swamps again, and there we go. Like I said, getting you can get the extended art and the retro frame from Modern Horizon sets in Russian, only Modern Horizons and Modern Horizons 2. Now Modern Horizon 3, Russian has stopped in between. So this is a persist. I like it. I have persists in the extended version too, but this guy is just so cool with this. The work is I want to play retro frame from pre-2002 era. And this only brings back creatures that are not legendary, of course. So here's like I said, here we go. Turach has also ability to be printed in Korean and Russian when it comes to these borderless cards, and I found this one. So I'm more than happy that I found this, and yes, like I said again, this works with Lurrus. So you can play this and kick, and you've got a 4/4. I mean, you're not supposed to kick it every time because it's amazing if you can kick it, but it means you've got basically a 4/3, because I mean it's whenever your opponent discards a card, so you're supposed to kick it to create 2 card discards at random, like Hymn to Turach, and this is Turach, so it does exactly what the Hymn to Turach does, and more than most of the time it's going to be a 2/1, sometimes going to be a 3/2 or a 4/3 if you have an opponent that has 2 cards in hand. Protection from white, believe it or not, it's good. It's working. Protection from white is working. It does not change anything in the deck. Nothing in the deck is white and want to target this. I mean, if you want to sort Supro shares or your own card, I don't know why you would do that, but there's no reason. So this is completely safe from being self-rotated. An opponent reanimating this might be a problem because you want white, but really you don't give a shit. It's just perfect. Turach every turn with contamination and Lurrus on the board is amazing. Like, this is a perfect lock, and you just never win. You just never lose the game. Fatal Push. Don't know what to say about this card. You all know what this is. This is one of the top cards in our game right now in Duel Commander. Absolutely amazed by this reprint again because the extended art is fine. It looks like it's a push. I mean, what do you think it's gonna be? Revolt is in the air. Oof, controversial card. Reanimate. Yeah, I was just gonna bypass this one because this is a borderline card, but actually look at this art. It's just, you can feel like this god is coming back from the dead, and it's just amazing. So yeah, reanimated is, because that's probably the best reanimator spell you can get. So yeah, this guy has been here for a while, and I haven't been able to expel it from the deck. This is still good. Not amazing, not brilliant, but Tide Hollow Scholar is a thing. It still works. It makes you gain some turn, and if an opponent has a way to prevent you from going off, this still works. So Tide Hollow Scholar is still something that actually got some tempo in it. Usually you're going to remove a card that's going to get back to the hand. It's not going to be eternally on the battlefield, but it works. It still works. All right, so you've got the Council Courtyard this time that I mentioned before, and it's brilliantly printed in Korean, and you've got the either Revolt and Kaladesh feeling on the top here. I like it. It's still beautiful, and of course you cannot play anything with that. Whoever plays Contamination and doesn't have access to many colors should play Reassembling Skeleton. Once it's blocking every turn. With Lurrus, it comes back untapped. With its ability, it comes back tapped. But really, you don't give a damn. It's just good at blocking. It's good at doing whatever it is. You can do that anytime you want, and it works really well with Contamination. It's a self-lock. This is going to be converted either in Russian foil or Korean foil, or it's going to be converted into the just like Mind Twist is going to be converted into this special set from Kaladesh. So I mean the from Amonkhet, sorry. This is going to be an invocation. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. It's going to be an Amonkhet invocation because I like this one. Actually, the greatest start for Vindicate by miles, but I don't know. Maybe I will change my mind. In the meantime, it's just Japanese foil, and it's going to be like that. I need to find that in Russian foil. I'm not desperate, but it's been 15 years. No, 15 years. It's been it's close to 15 years. It's more than 13 years actually for Eventide. And look at the gorgeous skies from this one. I think this sleeve is slightly marked. Yeah, I should just unsleeve that if I wanted to show you how amazing it is, because this is double sleeved. I should usually turn those videos when I'm just going to resleeve the deck. This one has been wearing these white sleeves from Ultra Pro for like 6 years. I play it, I goldfish with it, and they are still here. It's amazing. These sleeves were just indestructible. Judder. Different versions of this, just like the Innistrad and Midnight Hunt and stuff like that era. I believe all of the different versions and variants were just a disaster. The monochrome black ones are just ugly. I don't like them, and I just prefer to have the Russian version of this one. So yeah. Another thing that works great, you need to have this kind of effect in the deck at least once. I got it more than once, but at least this one is good. Self-cleansing, and self-cleansing works perfectly with Lurrus, so why not? If you're just getting back once, I think you got a certain advantage in the game. This was something I bought from a friend long time ago, and it's been played since then. I never stopped playing this land since I got it. This Tainted Field is, simplified Chinese or traditional Chinese, I think, rather. It's been with me like for ages. I don't even know where the guy I bought it is now. He's just gone. I don't know where he is, but I remember buying this from him, and it still amazes me. I like Tainted Field a lot. Again, Modern Horizons 2 had a really good, not cycle, but theme or sub-theme of reanimating things. And the Spirit of Ferrites is just amazing. Not only is it just gorgeous, but also the card is really efficient at doing what it does. You can reanimate it with Lurrus, which in turn reanimates something else. This is just bonkers. This is just not a loop, but something that really well works. So guess what? We got a planes, and we've got ossification. How is it? Was ossification in English too? I think. And ossification was a great addition to the deck because it's exactly what you need. This could be a journey to nowhere. This also exiles the Planeswalker, so I went in for Ossification, and as you can see, there are really a high number of basic lands in this deck. There are just a lot. I believe I play something like 16 or 17 basic lands. So there's a high number of chance, including the fetch lands that you can find also. So yeah, Gerard's Verdict. Why is this here? First, you gain points with your opponent discards lands, which they usually do all the time. And second, you can target yourself. So you target yourself, you save your life points by discarding a land, you discard one of that is you want to reanimate, and then you cast reanimate spells, and boom, this card is great. I have the promo version in this one, but this one is just look at this art. Just it's Gerard and Carl. Gosh, I forgot the name of the black guy here. It's just amazing. Well, whatever. Al Campbell. It's gonna come back to me, but yeah, whatever. Just an amazing card. I really like Gerard's Verdict. It's one of the cards that feels like wait. So Neon Dynasty brought us this cool cycle of lands. I'm not playing the black one, even though I could be, but I don't want creatures to be back in my hand. So it's hard to play Shokenza, I think, is the black one. But Iganjo is just crazy good. Iganjo is amazing, really. And it also self-discards, which means you can get it back with Sun Titan, stuff like that. So it's amazing. Oh, look, there's another Swamp. And Granite Magistrate. Do I need to say anything about that? It's so good, it's banned in Brawl because children don't like it. If you can cast this before your opponent, you're pretty gonna game. But the thing is, if your opponent really relies on their commander, this is good. If they don't, this is bad. And if they cast it before you cast Granite Magistrate, this is bad. Like, this is not good at all against Malcolm, for example. But it's still here. I was thinking about the darkest, blackest versions of the black cards, and I think this Toxic Deluge is impossible to beat. Like, I'm happy this is foil, but if this is not, you don't even see what is being drawn on the card. This is so black. Like Wizard of the Curse has been recently putting all the cards, especially the non-created cards, with like a color filter that just removes all of the colors. Like whatever card is white is just going to be white, or all the cards, and they just remove everything, and they do it way too much. Mate, just cool down, I mean, Force of Will is still a lack failure of art, but jeez, come on, cool it down. Anyway, this is amazing when you look at the foil, because you don't see the art if you just look like that. You need to be looking at the foil to realize how much detail there is on this card. So yeah, this is Bright Climb Pathway. Of course, this is in Russian foil, so you've got both sides of the card, and you've got to flip it. I have the placeholder card somewhere, but I don't use it. I just the Ultra Pro sleeves are really good when you want to flip the cards, and when it's on the battlefield, you just got to do something like that or whatever, and people understand. If they really want to, you just flip it and you put it back in the sleeves. It works. Enlightened Tour. I got all versions of Pimping Enlightened Tour, but I kept one version of the original promotional version of this one with the old lady being happy with the scepter. And, it's the only one I play like that. The other ones are just extended art foil, but I kept one version of this one, and I still love the one because it's kind of a tribute to the old cards. This deck is a tribute to old cards, like you got no idea. Inquisition of Kozilek got reprinted for the best. I wasn't really ready for that, but when they released the Double Masters 2024, I think, I was like, wow, whoa, they just did the uncommons in extended art for some of them. I'm buying this one, so I still think it's good. Kozilek's Inquisition is good. And damn, like Rudy would say, right? Damn, Dium, which you can spell Daym, is amazing too. Perfect removal, sorcery speed, but it's whatever you want it to be. It's just it destroys everything, and the art is I like it. Some Pollutant Delta, yes, I know. I don't I'm not very homogeneous. I still love the original DCI version, so I keep some of these, and only for the original ones, of course, because the other ones don't exist. Um, I like it. I was seeking for these lands. I've got like 3 or 4 of each of these lands, and I still play them in all my decks, and I still love the original Judge version of Polydor Delta. This is just amazing to me. All right, moving on to the theme of Modern Horizons 2 with Unmarked Grave. Unmarked Grave is again what you like. I said, you need Unmarked Grave in your deck, so you need to have something non-legendary, and could be Sun Titan, could be Ashen Rider. Both of these targets are correct when you search for this and put it in the graveyard. So also this is just non-legendary cards. So remember, it could be anything. Most of the time it's going to be a creature, but sometimes it's just going to be, not a creature, and this works. So this card has a lot of power. It's between Demonic Tutor and Buried Alive. Emeria Shepherd, one of my best ideas in this deck. I absolutely love the concept of this. This is crazy. If you got a fetch land, this is bonkers. He's gonna be putting anything back in your hand that's not a creature, mostly, but it's non-land permanent, and there's enough planes in this deck so that you can just spend your life reanimating things. If you can have this enter the battlefield, then play a fetch land, I mean, opponent cannot do anything. Like it's on the stack, they cannot respond to that. They got no opportunity to destroy it, because if they destroy it in response, you crack your fetch and you got a second thing to reanimate. It's just amazing. Emeria Shepherd was one of the forgotten cards from Battle for Zendikar, and I still believe it's amazing in reanimating decks. It's more like a win more, but it still holds its value in this deck. Of course, you got the Bloodghast. I found this guy in Russian foil. I'm on my way to buying it, but it's a long way. I have been playing this deck for years, and I still haven't found it yet so far. It's quite hard to find. Source to Plowshares, of course, so many versions of the cards inside. I bought this one. Source to Plowshares has above 80 different versions right now, but I wanted something in Japanese extended foil, so the answers are there are only 2 versions, I think. So this one is good. This one I just chose. And of course, when you play this deck, you can allow yourself playing a Temple of Silence. And this one is, how do you call it? Search foil, I think. Yeah, search foil. And let me, yeah, it's just perfect. Like, you can see the foiling on this is just really paying a good tribute to that. Also, funny thing, I think all the Temple of Silence arts are gorgeous. All of them. There's not an art that is bad. Some temple have a weird art. This one does not. So we got one more swamp again. We got the mandatory anime dead finally, after a couple reprints available in Japanese and foil. It's like, I waited so long. The first one was foil, not Japanese, and then we had Japanese but not foil, and it was so long. And finally we got it in Japanese. And look at this art, like, bad bitches. You get one take one. I got the Judge version, the promotional version of Living Death, but I don't know. I ended up thinking this A25, which is the Magic 25 version with the stamp here, the watermark, was actually nice. I'm still quite fan of the original art, so hard to choose again. Got both versions, but I think this one holds a little better place in my heart. Dirty Void Walker is amazing. It's the best version you can get of it, and it does the thing. It's getting reanimated by Lurrus and comes back on Sun Titan and anything. I mean, it's just amazing. You can't keep doing loops with that and getting it back every turn with Lurrus. It's just such a good card. So yeah, whoever plays Reanimator should have, of course, a Karmic Guide. And I'm happy to say this version, if I just take it out of the sleeves, you can see it maybe, if I got a good camera on it, is, a little dusty here, is absolutely completely near me. It doesn't have any flaws, just everything's on it is dust. The rest is perfect, pristine condition. I don't even know how I could get this card for so cheap, but there you go. And look at the art. This art doesn't get old, right? It's just goes with that art, actually, you see? It's just the same spirit, the same energy. And this is amazing. So, hard to find in the original Russian foil. I'm not desperate. In the meantime, I found Time Spiral Remastered in Russian foil. And Flagstones of Trocare is just great. Combos with so many things, works with balance. Finds anything you want to find. It's great. It's great. So I like it. Also, you can have the, I don't know, like Lake of the Dead, Urborg in this, for example. There are plenty upsides to this card in the deck, and the worst case scenario is just something that comes untapped and that actually does white mana. Pretty hard to find, but I got it. This was already a modern staple when I got it, and Collective Brutality is still very played and enjoyed in Modern. This does everything. Surviving by draining life, making sure your opponent is not going to be like against your plan with whatever is non-creator, and discarding your hand to go further. So that is just perfect. And if you can get whatever you need to kill a small creature, that is already good. And we'll finish with this Silent Clearing Russian foil. Still just amazing, works great with Sun Titan and stuff. So yeah, lots of cards I've been having for years and lots of beautiful plays. I'm never bored with this deck. It surprises me. Like, you get so many bad hands that do nothing, which is fine. It's the cost you have to play when you play a reanimator deck, and I still believe there is some hidden competitiveness in this deck. Room for improvement, but you know, there we go. This is the current version of a deck of Duel Commander I've been playing for 15 years. I built black-white deck from the start 15 years ago. Something like 14 to 15 years ago. Not exactly sure about when, but this is one of the 3 decks I've built instantly when I started playing Duel Commander. I was so hyped and so happy. Yeah, I was just thrilled about that. I don't think there are any cards that come from the original deck that I've built that are still in this one, whether it is for the version or simply for what the card does and its name. But I'm happy with that. I hope you like the good old history, and that you like this series too. This was another Tales from the Vault with black and white Lurrus deck. See you later.